Chapter 7 Clover. Saturday, 5th of March 2005. Loneliness was like a terminal disease. With every passing day, you died a little bit more. I have felt as if I were dying for the past 4 years, and I had enough. Combing over my hair one last time, I slipped my wallet in my back pocket and picked up my keys. The girls' room was finished. There was just one thing missing before I would be ready for them: their clothes. On the way to the department store, I stopped off at the local florist to buy a bunch of jaberas for my mother. "Good morning, Colin," Mrs. Coop said, and smiled from behind the flower field counter. I returned her smile and inhaled the fresh aroma of mix and mixture of flowers. "Good morning. Would you like your usual?" I nodded once. "Please." Coming right up there, she turned her head and gathered a handful of white jaberas, mother's favorites. "How are you doing?" "I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?" "Oh, same old, same old," she replied as she tied a white ribbon around the flowers. "That'll be £10, please." I handed the cash over. "Thank you. Have a lovely day." "You too, Miss Coop." I drove to the graveyard, and for a minute, I sat in the car park and stroked the delicate white petals. No man had tampered with them or damaged them. They was pure and innocent, something that isn't often found in this world of greed, disgrace, and self-gratification. The wrong people were protected while the innocent were being left to pick up at like a lion's prey. I wanted to stop that. I wanted to be my family, to be protected from the outside evil. I will stop that, and I will protect them. I vowed. Getting out of the car, I walked along the familiar path. Mother's grave was at the end of the graveyard, in the right-hand corner. There was a space beside it reserved for me, so that we could be together again in the end. I placed a patchwork blanket down and knelt on it. Gazing at the perfectly soft petals, I smiled, appreciating the purity of nature's most beautiful creation. Turning my attention to my mother's grave, I placed the flowers where her ear would be. "I miss you," I said aloud. "I hope you don't feel that me getting the family I always wanted will affect what I feel for you in any way." I kept my eyes on the flowers above her heart. "I love you very much, and I always will. Nothing will stop me from visiting you or putting you first. I won't ever forget what you taught me, and I promise I will continue striving for what you wanted of this world. I won't let them win, Mother. I promise you that." I looked up at the sound of a young girl laughing. She was walking with her parents and what must have been a brother. Her hair was so long and blonde, it looked like a golden veil draping down her back. She was the reason I would never give up the fight. Innocent little girls like her that in a few years will be tainted beyond repair. "No, Mom," she shouted. "I don't like Westlife anymore. They're not cool." I smiled at the innocent, fickle comment. She must have been only 10 or 11, not long until she discovered boys and would have to contend with other girls fighting for the attention of the one she liked. Her mom laughed. "Sweetheart, yesterday you bought their poster." "Well, that was yesterday." Her parents shook their heads, both smiling with pride and amusement. The boy hung back as if embarrassed to be seen with them. He held his mobile phone out in front of him and mindlessly tapped away at it. As quickly as they appeared, they were gone, out to the other side of the fence. That was what I wanted, except I wouldn't sit back and allow my family to be corrupted, unlike those parents. Soon enough, their beautiful little girl would become just another one of them. I stood up and gathered the blanket. Goodbye, Mother. I'll visit again soon. As I walked back to my car, I looked around for their family again, but they had disappeared. My heart ached for that poor little girl. I had been shopping with my mother many times, but this was different. Exciting. This was my choice and no one else's. I could dress them how I wanted respectfully. I walked into the department store and was hit by a feminine scent of a mixture of perfume. As I followed the sign to the women's clothing, I wonder what the girls would smell like. Would they always have their own scent, or would it merge into one the longer they were all together? A group of teenage girls squealing over a picture of a male model drew my attention. There were three of them, all wearing revealing and tasteless clothing. How on earth could their mothers allow them to leave the house looking like that? The loudest one had a dark orange brown tan and heavy makeup. Society had gone downhill since women thought it appropriate to act and dress like disgusting little whores. My eyes twitched. Swallowing my hate, I turned and walked away. They could wait. I stopped in the women's clothing before looking for the perfect outfits. Can I help you? The shop assistant asked. She wore a distasteful short skirt and a low-cut shirt. No wonder the younger generation of women dress like little whores if they see career women dressed like it too. I smiled. Yes, please. I'm looking for matching skirt and cardigan sets. Oh, okay. Well, we have this one here, she said and gestured with her hand at a floral set behind me. Perhaps something a little more modern. It's for my fiance. Taking a deep breath, I closed my eyes for a second to enjoy how that sounded. Fiance. Could I have that? A normal fiance? No, probably not. No one but Mother would understand what I was trying to do. Not straight away. Of course, here are some more fashionable two pieces. I followed her to the next row. Now these were perfect. Soft pink, greens, and blues would make them look respectable, but be keeping with their age. I'll have four of each of those. Four of each? Yes, please. She frowned and flicked through the rail. What size? 10, please. Are are these all, sir? She asked, holding the clothes in her arms. I nodded. That's all, thank you. Their underwear had been ordered via the internet. I didn't have any business looking through that in a shop. I paid for the clothes with the cash. Thank you for your help. No problem. I hope your fiance likes them. I'm sure she will. Grabbing the stuffed bags, I left the shop. I went straight home, moving the shoulder-high bookcase out of the way. I unlocked the door to the girls' annex. Their place was beautiful, and although it wasn't huge, it had everything they could ever want or need. It was big enough for them to live comfortably, and the separate bedroom made it more of a bungalow-like. I was proud of what I had created for them all. Walking into the bedroom, I hung one set of each color in the floor wardrobe and smiled. I had made sure I spent more time in their room getting it perfect for them. I'm doing the right thing. Would Mother think so too? Would she want me to be with anyone else? I shook my head. I had come too far to turn back. I needed this. The bed covers matched and the beds lined up. two against both walls, facing each other. Between the beds were two bedside tables and two single width wardrobes on each side. Each girl had her own space. Just a year ago, this was an old cellar, housing boxes of junk and old furniture. Now it was a beautiful home for four beautiful women. Climbing back up the stairs, I closed the locked door and pushed the bookcase back across. The door was hidden, matching the wallpaper. You would never know it was there, and the placement of the bookcase meant the door handle was out of view. Taking a deep breath, I tried to calm my nerves. Not long until I picked up Violet now. Turning around, I saw something that made my heart sink. The ordinate crystal vase now held a bunch of dead tulips. My breathing became heavy and sharp. Dead. They're dead. The only truly pure thing in this world, and they died. No! A fog of red smoke engulfed me, and I lunged for the vase. One swipe sent it flying across the room, where it smashed against the wall. Water splattered over the wallpaper and sunk into the carpet. The dull tulips lied withered on the floor. I looked up and caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. It's time.